All right, everyone, welcome back. High Octane Podcast. I am your host, Bob, and we are back. I know we didn't have a new episode last week because of the Andy Pilgrim awesomeness. I did that episode for 2 weeks just to give everybody a chance to listen, watch, enjoy, and I hope everyone did. I was told we got good numbers on that episode, so thank you for everyone that watched. It's very, very greatly appreciated. That was super fun time. Great of Andy to do that. Come on board and just chat with us, tell us some good stories, and just overall be a cool ass dude. So thank you again for Andy to Andy, and thank you for everyone that listened. Like I said, welcome back. Any new viewers, welcome. Um, all returning listeners, viewers, also welcome. Uh, This week, I'm going to start off alone, but my brother will be joining me shortly. He has not gotten off of work yet, so he'll be on in about maybe 20, 30 minutes at the most. So I'm going to ramble a little bit until he gets on, but you shouldn't have to listen to me and my stupid nonsense for too long, hopefully, anyway. Um, and I am trying to get this posted in Facebook also for people that listen, watch, whatever uh, over there. I got to figure out how to do it while I'm rambling. I don't know that I can figure it out, but uh, hopefully Jess won't be uh, working for too much longer and she can do it for me because that's why I've been banished to the garage. Jess is still working. She's on a phone call with her boss, I assume. So, yeah, that's why I am down here. And it was last minute, so that's why I'm late. Sorry about that. Um, but not too late. I was only about 7 minutes late. That's pretty good considering. Anyway, um, yeah. So for this week, I'm gonna redo the very first episode. Not really redo. I'm gonna update the very first episode. That we called it the state of the auto industry. I'm going to update everyone uh, on what I know. I obviously don't know everything, as I've always said. I am very far from an expert. I don't know everything that's going on in the world of automotive. Uh, I obviously I work in it, but I don't know everything that there is to know. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna update everyone on what I know, what I've heard. A lot of rumors, speculations. We're gonna talk about EVs because it's like what's got everybody up in arms as of late. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Mostly, I guess. We'll throw in some of the autonomy crap, um, stuff like that. Um, just everything that I've heard. I just want to like kind of update everybody on all that. Once my brother joins, it'll be a little bit easier. You guys won't have to stare at my stupid face. Just my stupid face anyway. I'm gonna try to pull up some info here, if I can find it. I have really slacked off on all of my news and whatever you want to call it. Uh, I don't know. I haven't really been on my game with work and everything. Working a little bit of overtime. It hasn't been crazy yet, um, thankfully, but I'm fully prepared for it to go kind of balls to the wall. Um, so yeah, there's gonna be that. Why is this not working now? I don't know what's going on here. No, I don't want cars for sale. Damn it. Um, bear with me, guys. I'm trying to find something here, something specific, and it is not working. MSN Autos is not my friend right now. What am I going to do? Let's do something else then. I know. I'm sorry, guys. I was not prepared today. Apologize. I'm trying to find some news, something important to talk about, something interesting anyway. Okay, I guess this will work. But anyway, like I said, my brother will be joining me shortly. Hopefully, not too long. So whenever he jumps on, he'll be joining us. But I'm gonna get into what am I drinking right now. I know the graphic doesn't match, but I'm per currently by myself. So, what am I drinking? All right. So, what am I drinking? Since I am solo for the moment, I have another gin. I don't know that I've drank this on the podcast yet. It's Purity Gin. It's not the same manufacturer as the milk, so don't confuse it. This is from Sweden. Um, Pretty sure anyway. Yes, product of Sweden. I know the guy that distributes it here in the Nashville area. He's a cool ass dude. So everybody kind of support him. If you like gin, go buy it. It's cheap, $28, $28 to $30 at most liquor stores. I'm not sure what all liquor stores carry it, but there's some around me that have it. So everybody go out and buy it. It's delicious. It's distilled 34 times. It's like water. So cheers. Don't drink and drive, as always. All right. So I'm gonna get straight into it while we wait for my broham to come on. I did find some interesting things. Current, I guess we could do a few current events just to kind of kill time. There have been a couple of recent reveals as of late that are have caused a little bit of controversy, differences of opinion. Um, and I'll get straight into it. The new Silverado EV. Um, a lot of people say, "Oh, it's an overgrown Avalanche. Oh, it's too expensive. The ranges, blah 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 blah." All the same arguments with all the other EVs. Um, all the same arguments. Everything. It's too expensive. Blah blah blah. Like I said, and I agree. It is expensive. But it's all it's new territory for General Motors. Um, it's just the direction that the industry is going in. Personally, I really really like it. Um, a lot of people say that they over designed, over engineered, maybe doesn't look like a Silverado, blah blah blah. And I actually I put points in favor of it for that. Whereas Ford only they took the current F-150 and just made it electric. They didn't really redesign it. It looks the exact same. So I take points away from Ford for that. I commend Chevrolet for taking an idea and making it 100% new. They didn't just take the current Silverado, throw some batteries and some electric motors underneath it, and just call it the Silverado. They completely redesigned it. They completely changed the powertrain, and I like it. I think they did a really good job. I like the I don't remember what the hell they call that style of bed, but I like that. It's very functional. I know that the current Silverado with the gas engine still that they have like a package that comes with uh like that whatever bar thing that goes in the corner of the bed where it meets the body or the cab, whatever the hell you want to call it. So I mean, it doesn't really look a ton different. Um, I really like it. I don't like the price, but I mean that's kind of where we're at with the technology right now. For a truck to get 400 miles, you're not gonna get that for cheap. Um, it tows a decent amount. It hauls a decent amount. I like the interior. General Motors has kind of gotten on the wagon when it comes to modern interiors. Thank Christ. They're a little late to the game, but hey, you got to do what you got to do when you can. Um, but anyway, I know a lot of people are hating on it, but I like it. Uh, we'll leave the rest for later. Another one that Brian that was on this podcast probably I don't know, between 4 and 6 months ago. I don't remember exactly when he was on. He shared this in the group on Facebook. The 2023 Toyota Sequoia, total redesign. It's got a hybrid turbo V6 instead of a big V8, gas guzzler. I don't know. For the rest of I guess for the remaining time that gasoline engines are going to be around, a lot of manufacturers are going to kind of dump the V8 for turbo V6s or even hybrid powertrains. I don't like this idea personally, but I understand why they're doing it. They're cheaper. They make the same amount of power. They're more efficient. Blah blah blah. All that fucking engineering jargon. Like I said, I get it from the business aspect. It's going to save them money, but for people that want to hang on to the gasoline engine for as long as possible, I don't like this idea. I really, really hope that the manufacturers that are not going to go fully electric super soon. I know some of them are, but I hope that they keep certain models. General Motors, if you're listening, please keep the Corvette at least keep the option for the Corvette as to have a gasoline engine for as long as absolutely possible. Um, you're going to upset the purists if you go 100% electric, especially in the Corvette. You've already ruined the Camaro, even though a lot of people don't know what you're doing with it. You've already ruined it. So please, please, please don't ruin the Corvettes yet. I know that I know. Well, I'll keep talking about this Sequoia for now. Um, and I will agree with James. He's a guy in the group. He commented on the post when I said I don't really like it because I don't care for anything that comes from Japan. Everyone knows this by now. But this isn't awful. I guess I do not like it. But he's right. The styling is a little bit more aggressive. It does sit up a little bit higher. Uh, yeah, I mean, I agree. I can agree with that. It is a little rugged. It's not a super luxury vehicle. It can actually be taken off road. It can haul an Airstream. Uh, as you can see in the picture I'm about to share, I wasn't planning on sharing any screen, but I can do that real quick, just in case you guys are curious as to what I'm talking about. So here we go. Share screen, blah, blah, blah. All right, here. This is what I'm talking about. The new Sequoia. Let me try to make that a little bit bigger. That did not work too well, but you guys can probably get the gist. That's the new Sequoia. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan, but what do I know? You guys are just here to listen to me rant and rave and sound stupid, but I like to think I know what I'm talking about, at least somewhat. I've been in the business for a while now, so no expert, but I have very heavy opinions, and I stand by them all the time. I don't deviate from them a lot. Someone can make a case for me bending my opinion. I might, but it doesn't happen very often. Anyway, that's the new Sequoia. Um, I don't know everything that they've changed. I don't really care. I don't think it's gonna do too well. But what do I know? Ugly sells, especially in this shit country. Well, it's not a shit country, but the people here are shit. Sorry, not sorry. I don't care if you don't like what I just said. A lot of the people here are shit. Um, what? Oh, Jesus Christ! The Jeep Wagoneer. I'll get me started on this thing. Don't get me wrong. I like the interior, but it looks like a re. The front end was redesigned on the Suburban, and they slapped a Jeep name on it on the outside, and then like I said, the interior is fantastic. The interior is beautiful. I think that Jeep, Chrysler, whoever the hell you want to give credit to, I think they knocked the interior out of the park. I've kind of become an interior snob as of late. I will not buy a car with a boring interior ever again. You can thank 2016 Cadillac ATS for that. That will be the selling factor for any car that I buy going forward is the interior. Obviously, the exterior is important, but not as important as the interior because that's where I spend the majority of my time in my vehicle. So, but yeah, the Wagoneer's interior is phenomenal. I give kudos to Chrysler, Fiat, whoever the hell designed this thing. Uh, I don't care who it is, but it's beautiful. I don't have a picture of it pulled up currently. If you guys want to see it, just Google it. It's easy. I'm not wasting my time with it. Also, coming up this weekend is the 24 hours of Daytona for all you race fans. Obviously, can't see you in Facebook. I know I can't. I couldn't. I couldn't share it on Facebook because something happened in StreamYard. I guess I don't know what happened in StreamYard, but all the destinations are gone, all the admins are gone. I can't share it to multiple platforms. I guess I got booted out because I didn't pay because I wasn't getting all the freaking services that I was paying for. And now they're all butthurt. I'm gonna have to deal with that. But Jess, if you could share this link in Facebook, I'd appreciate that. I could not figure out how to do it, and I'm not trying to get distracted by doing so. So I'm doing what I need to do, which is talk my head off for 2 hours. And I don't know if I'm going to last 2 hours tonight, honestly, because this was a little bit rushed. Um, not very well planned. I didn't have a guest lined up until like 2 days ago, and he's obviously still not here. So, we got to kind of wing it. Anyway, what the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah, the 24 hours of Daytona. It starts on Saturday, ends on Sunday. It's obviously, like the name says, 24-hour race. It's going to be super fun to watch. I hope to at least watch a little bit of it. Thank you, Jess. I love you. You're the shit. Thank you for doing that. Anyway, 24 hours of Daytona. Obviously, it's in Daytona, Florida, at Daytona Motor Speedway and the infield course. It's a fun track, super technical. It's very fast because it uses some of the oval that NASCAR uses, but it's super fun. I love watching night racing. I love when they actually turn right. Also, NASCAR isn't good at that because they're a bunch of fucking spoiled babies and they only go left. So yeah, check on the hell am I trying to say? Check that out. It's gonna be fun. Mr. Pilgrim will not be racing in that race, but he does have some races coming up. So yeah, I hope to watch him in action this year. It's gonna be fun. I'm cheering him on. Go Andy, you're the shit. What else? I don't know that I have really much else to talk about until really get into the heart of the episode. Don't know those couple reveals. That's really all I need to talk about up until right now. Those are the more current events that I was going to mention. I don't know who else is watching, but there are 2 people watching live. That's cool. Still waiting on my bro. I don't know when he'll be home. And then I don't know how long it'll take him to hop on. But yeah, I'm just going to get right into it. The state of the auto industry, it is still in shambles. Everyone knows about the chip shortage. Everyone knows about supplier issues. Everyone knows about all of that. Everyone knows how annoying it is. Everyone knows how it is affecting used car sales, used car prices. Especially me, it infuriates me every single day because I am trying to find something to buy, and I am trying to find something very specific to buy, and I can't find it for a reasonable price. I am looking for an early C7 Corvette, and I can't find one that's reasonable, and it's like I said, it's infuriating. I can't find one that's affordable. The cheapest one I found was a 2014, which I will not buy because it was the first year of the C7, and you never, ever, ever, public service announcement, never buy the first year of any new vehicle, ever. Don't do it. Don't ever, ever, ever do it. If you don't listen to me ever again, listen to me now. Do not ever buy the first model year of anything that's new. Don't do it. You know why? I'm going to tell you why. Because there are problems, guaranteed problems with it. And they need to be able to have time to work those problems out. I know there are those gullible fools that have leases. They have to have a brand new vehicle every year, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They're the people they're the guinea pigs. Those are the guinea pigs, these people that have to buy a car as soon as it comes out. They're the guinea pigs. They're the ones that are going to have all the issues. They're the ones that are going to have the warranty claims, the recalls, all the service issues, everything that goes wrong with it. These people are going to be the guinea pigs. So let them be the guinea pigs. Don't buy the first year of any car, period, ever. I don't care how long it's been in development. I don't care how many engineering vehicles, whatever manufacturer ran on the line, there's going to be problems. Wait until year 2 at least. That's why I'm looking for a 2015 Corvette. Anyway, that was a little bit of a ramble, a little sidetrack. I'll get back on track. But anyway, I saw a 2014 with over 100,000 miles on it, and they still wanted, I want to say, 40 grand for it. And I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. And that should tell everyone that sees this the state of the automotive industry right now. You can't buy an 8-year-old vehicle that was probably $50,000 to $55,000 new for less than $40,000. I'm sorry, the Corvette does hold its value, but not something that has over 100,000 miles, isn't fully loaded. It wasn't even a Z06. I'm sorry, that's a $30,000 car at best. But again, these damn dealerships can't get their hands on new vehicles with all the options that they're supposed to have. So they're price gouging on used cars, and honestly, I think it should be illegal. I really, really do. Sorry, I'm getting texts, so I'm just checking them real quick. Anyway, yeah, these dealerships use new it doesn't matter. They're gouging people because they can't get new vehicles, so they think that all these used cars are worth 10 to 12, 10, 10 to $20,000 more than they are. And it's ridiculous. It should be absolutely illegal. Price gouging, U.S. government, should be illegal. 100% should be illegal, and I'm extremely annoyed by it, needless to say. I mean, I saw one today, the Mazda dealership here in Franklin, Tennessee. Yes, I'm putting them on blast. I don't care. Sue me. What are you going to get from me? I don't care. They have a 2019 Z51. I don't know if it's fully loaded. I don't know what options that it has on it. I don't care. It's blue, white stripes, blah, blah, blah. $66,000, I think they want for it. That might have been 3 years ago. That might have been a $66,000 car. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Probably more like 50 to 55. Brand new. Sorry. Corvettes typically don't appreciate in value. They do hold their value well, but they don't appreciate in value unless it's like a super low volume vehicle like the ZR1. Unless it's modified, highly modified, I don't know. It's just an example of how the industry is. And I'll give you another example. I recently, I'm drinking Purity gin. I love gin. I love Purity, so I combined the two. Love it. Love them both. But what was I saying? Oh, I recently had a 2016 Cadillac ATS. Like I said earlier, blame that on the interior snobbiness. And I had it for 2 years. Loved it. It did give me a few issues. It was I had some warranty stuff I had to have fixed, and then it was in and out of the shop a couple of times up until I sold it. I did sell it to CarMax because they gave me exactly what I paid for it 2 years earlier. That should tell you something right there. 2 years has passed, and I sold it for what I paid for it. And then they sold it for $30,000. $30,000. Not worth that. Not at all. It's a 6-year-old car. It had below average miles, but it was 6 years old, below average miles, not fully loaded. It wasn't top of the line. 30 grand. Not worth it. I saw multiple ATSs at the same CarMax. 2 years newer, lower miles, same money. And someone actually bought that shit. Someone bought that. Shame on you. I hope I see you. I hope you live in Franklin. And I hope you see you because I'm going to say you got ripped off. I will say it to your face. I don't care. Oh, and by the way, I was looking at, I think it was a 2006 Corvette. They wanted decent money. It was a little high. I was going to try to finagle them down a little bit, put some money down, whatever. Good miles, but I couldn't test drive it. But it was like it was owned by like a person that like made cheese. So it had like these weird stickers on the side, the front, the side, the back, and both sides in the back, like the name of the cheese company. And I don't know, it was weird. I couldn't test drive it because it didn't have coolant in it, which I thought that was very strange. Tell you, yeah, Brian, I'm sure you will. And I've actually looked at the Alphas. I've been tempted because they're not crazy expensive. I don't know, just I don't want a 4-cylinder. That's just my personal thing. I just don't want a 4-cylinder. I know they've come a long way. I know they make good power, blah blah blah, and the Alphas are nice. I like the way they look. I like the interior. I know they're decently fast with a 4-cylinder. I just don't want one. Well, that's good. That's good miles. That's good miles. But like I said, I just don't want a 4-cylinder. I have to have at least a V6. It's just personal preference. I don't know. It's just me. The V6s have come a long way, and as well as the 4-cylinders. I know that, but I don't know. I just want at least a V6. But like I said, I want a Corvette, and I'm getting a little bit off track. This '06 Vet, I sat in it. It was nice, but it just had that basic ass bitch interior. I can't do it. I just can't. Sorry, I'm not buying a high-end sports car that shares the steering wheel with a freaking Malibu. I just can't do it. The center stack's annoying. The seats are annoying. The door panels, everything is just so boring. It's boring. That's why I want at least a C7. They upgraded the interior. It actually has character in the interior. It doesn't share parts with any other freaking model that Chevy made, minus maybe like the turn signals or the wipers, the minor bullshit. That's fine. But everything else, it doesn't share parts with any other vehicle that General Motors makes. And that's how it should be. That's how it should be. It's an exclusive vehicle. That's your flagship car. But Italian, I know, Brian, I know it's Italian, and I love Italian cars, but I would at least want a Quadrifoglio, but I can't afford them because they're at least like 50 grand. I've never seen one cheaper than that, even used. Where was I? Oh, that '06 Vet. Same day I went and looked at it, I told the dealership, it was a local dealership here in town. I said, you get it ready, do your inspection, get replace what you're going to replace. Call me, I'll drive it. Maybe we can make a deal. Same day they sold it to some douchebag, and I found out where that guy lives by accident. I am not stalking this person. I just happened to drive a specific way, notice the car, and that's where that douchebag lives. And it still has the cheese stickers on it. So this person must really, really like cheese, or they just don't know what the stickers mean. The Stelvio is very nice, actually, Brian. We were behind one here in Franklin. It was not a Quadrifoglio, but it must have had aftermarket exhaust because this thing was loud. And it did all the popping and backfiring, and not really backfiring, but it did all the popping and whatever else when whoever's driving it let off the gas. And it sounded really, really nice to me. Just didn't like it. But the Stelvio is nice. I'm not in the market for an SUV, a nice SUV yet. I do drive a Blazer. It was just kind of I need a vehicle now buy. It's a piece of shit, actually. There's so many issues with it. And that's kind of why I'm getting impatient with buying something. I hate driving it. I hate driving it. Sometimes the door will just fly open at random, and yeah, that's not good. It's not safe. I'm fully expecting it to do it when someone's coming the opposite way. They drive straight the fuck into the door and destroy everything. Glass flies on my face, and I go blind. I mean, hopefully that doesn't happen, but I'm expecting it to if it continues to do so, and if I can't find something else to buy. But yes, the Stelvio is nice. I do like it. It's practical. Porsche Macan S. I don't like the Porsches. I like the Taycan. Obviously, I can't afford it. I just don't. I can't do Porsche. They're just like BMWs. The people that drive them are complete douchebags. The most pretentious people in the fucking world drive Porsches and BMWs. Jess, I love you, but you drive a Beamer. It's true. I mean, it's true. She will admit to it, and I'm sure a lot of people that drive Porsches and BMs will also admit to it. But I don't hate the way they look. I just can't. I can't do a Porsche. I just can't do it. The new Panameras aren't as bad as they used to be. I know we're getting off topic from state of the auto industry, but I'm this is kind of a gimme. All right, just bear with me. I'm by myself. I'm gonna go off on tangents, especially with comments coming in. Brian, comment away. You're helping me out here. I know 320 horsepower V6. It's not a lot, but for a small SUVs like the Macan that's actually pretty decent. And yeah, the reliability has gotten a lot better since Volkswagen has come into the picture. So I get it. They've gotten a lot better. They're not as fragile as they used to be. A lot of people might talk a little bit of shit about that because that kind of takes away from the raucousness of how Porsche used to be, and that gave it character, blah blah blah. People want reliability. People don't want their shit to break down. That's why Alphas back in the day, that they broke down a lot, and that's why a lot of people nowadays might be reluctant to buy an Alfa Romeo. But they've also come a long way. They're much more reliable. They don't break down nearly as much as they used to. Italian cars have come a long way because they're owned by outside manufacturers. They're not small manufacturers anymore. They're not none of the Italian manufacturers, with the exception of Ferrari, are owned by any Italians. They're not Italian anymore. They're just made there. Lamborghini's owned by Audi. Audi's owned by Volkswagen. Alpha, not 100% sure who owns Alpha. I don't know if it's Ferrari. I'm not 100% sure. And then, Porsche should have always been reliable because Germans know how to make a fucking vehicle, but I don't know. They were pretty fragile for a long time. It's very expensive to fix. They need to get on that. Stop making your shit. Yeah, no doubt. They're not glued together with spaghetti anymore. 100%. You're right. But I understand that Porsche, BMW, Mercedes, Audis, they're luxury marks, but make your shit a little bit more affordable to fix. I mean, god damn. You're owned, well, especially Audi, you're owned by Volkswagen. Make your shit more affordable to fix. Come on. Repairs shouldn't cost that much anymore. I mean, I know that FCA and Stellantis. Okay. Well, then, yeah, fucking Alphas. Well, I don't know. FCA, Chrysler is pretty shitty quality. So hopefully Alpha will elevate their quality, and Chrysler won't bring their quality down. Hopefully. So we'll see. I don't know much about Stellantis. I know we talked about that in our episode, but I still don't know a ton about Stellantis. But anyway, like I said, hopefully Alpha will elevate FCA and not vice versa. But we shall see. So far, so good, I guess. Alphas sell pretty well. Hopefully they expand their product line. Smaller SUV, bigger SUV, another car, maybe a two-door sports car. That would be nice. Because they are still technically Italian, but, whatever. Let's see. Anyway, well, if anyone watching can find me a 2015 Vet, it doesn't have to be fully loaded. Definitely not a convertible. Pretty much any color except for that fucking maroon. No brown, or not brown. No green, no maroon. Any other color. You could find me a 15 decent miles for like 40,000 in the next couple months. Let me know, because that's what I'm looking for. And I'll have a decent down payment in, I don't know, hopefully a couple months. I don't know when I'm going to get what I'm hoping on, but I'm not going to put myself on blast, but I'll have a decent down payment in a couple months. So that's what I'm looking for. Anyway, what else was I going to talk about? The state of the auto industry. I know the first episode, me and Jess talked about how all these manufacturers are pretty much dropping it. Like they're pretty much dropping cars altogether. Get a manual. That would be preferable. Yes, absolutely. The 7-speed manual is the shit. Not necessarily for city driving, but I don't do a ton of city driving, so manual would be, that would be good. I know we talked about state of the auto industry, the very, very first episode of this podcast. We talked about all the manufacturers pretty much discontinuing, well, at least over here in this country, pretty much discontinuing all cars, with the exception of very few. General Motors, Chrysler, Ford, especially, just discontinuing cars altogether. Like I said, with the exception of a few, Chevrolet still has a couple passenger vehicles. They have the Camaro and the Corvette, obviously. Um, Chrysler is, I want to say they only have the Charger and the Challenger. And then Ford only makes the Mustang. So that's pathetic. Honestly, it's 100% pathetic. And I blame the consumer for this. 100% I blame the consumer. Shame on you guys, all of you. All of you, shame on you. What is with the SUV thing? And this has not changed. It has actually gotten worse. 100% it's gotten worse. The SUV has completely taken over. I know, like I said before, I understand the need for SUVs. If you have more than 2 children, you're probably going to need an SUV because they're going to be in sports, they're going to be, doing whatever they're doing, extracurricular bullshit. I understand the need for it. You need the cargo space. You need, whatever. I understand. You need that if you have more than 2 children. If you don't have more than 2 children, if you have 1 to 2 children, buy a car. You can get by with a car. 4 doors is a car is more than perfect, more than enough. You buy a Malibu. That's 4 doors. It seats 5. It has a decent sized trunk. It has all the space you need. You would need if you have 2 children. I don't care what they're doing. I do not care. I mean, whatever. I don't know what sport 2 children would be doing that would warrant an SUV. I really don't. And I'm sorry, but of all the SUVs out there that most of these people buy with 2 to 3 children, 2 to 3 plus, if you're in the plus, yeah, you need an SUV, obviously, at least a Tahoe. But if you have 2 children, a Malibu is fine. And it honestly, in my opinion, it looks better than any SUV that these people are buying. I like the Equinox. I love the Traverse. The Traverse is the shit. But 2 children, you don't need it. You do not need it. Not to mention it's 50 grand. Malibu you can get for in the mid to high 20s. More than enough space. It looks better. Has the same exact powertrain. So I just don't understand it. They got rid of the Impala. Huge mistake. Stop getting rid of cars. Bring cars back. Please. Please bring cars back. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand the mindset of the American consumer right now. I don't get it. New CUVs can get the same gas mileage as cars just 10 years ago. I understand, like I said, I understand the practicality and I get the what I don't know the economic purpose that SUVs have grown to acquire. I guess I'm using big words and I don't need to, but I get it. I get it. The larger vehicles are as efficient as cars used to be. I understand that. I get all the practicality. I understand it. But people that like cars still want cars. I want a car. You drive a car. My dad wants a car. My mom would probably still drive a car. My brother, my buddy Danny, Jess drives a car. There are still people that want cars. Like I said this in the first episode, in the first state episode, people still want cars. I know that certain manufacturers are still making cars. They're still importing cars over here. I know all the Germans are still making cars. Kudos to them. All the Japanese, they're still making cars. Fuck them. Sorry, not sorry. Koreans, screw them. Junk. I hate them. They're ugly pieces of shit. I don't know. Europe may be still making some cars. I know Italy is still making cars. But in this country, cars. All right, I'm going to say this. Cars that are made here, that doesn't automatically make them American vehicles. Just because they're made here doesn't make them American. And just because they're American-owned vehicles does not make them American either, because they're made with so many foreign parts. And Hate that. That's another topic for another day. Maybe a little bit later. I'll probably bring that up again. But American manufacturers, General Motors, Chrysler, Ford, make cars. I don't care if it's two. I don't care. You don't have to have every manufacturer does not have to have the same vehicle in every platform. You don't have to do that. I don't understand why these manufacturers think they have to do every segment. They have to have a model in every single segment. Ferrari is about to come out with an SUV. Shame on you. Shame on you. Lamborghini, shame on you too. You assholes make high-end exotic sports cars. You don't need an SUV. Screw you. You don't need an SUV. Leave that to Audi. Leave that to Volkswagen. Those are your owners. Leave that to them. You make ultra high-end exotic sports cars. Fuck your SUVs. Shame on you. Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there. I don't care. It's annoying. SUVs can suck. Just go away. Not all of them, obviously, because there are needs for them, but Lamborghini and Ferrari should not make SUVs. Bugatti, please don't ever make an SUV. I know that stupid concept is floating around out there. Please do not make it. Rolls-Royce should have never made one. Bentley should have never made one because that's not what they make, and they're both hideous. I hate them. I know I'm getting off track because actually we're not really. This is the state of the auto industry. It's a shame. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I'm not going to get into trucks because beyond the Silverado EV, I'm not getting into it because I don't know. It's pretty much the same across the board with cars, SUVs, trucks. I don't, Honda. No, it wasn't Honda. Toyota just completely redesigned the Tundra, and it is awful. It looks just like that Sequoia I showed you guys earlier. The Toyota, the Tundra's never been good. The Nissan Titan's never been good. Honda has never made a decent truck. I don't care what argument you have for the Ridgeline. It's a piece of shit. It's not full size. It can't tow shit. It can't haul shit. It's a piece of shit. Mazda, they never even tried. Good for them. Subaru had that Baja. It was never anything. It was a piece of junk. They should have never wasted their time. It was a knockoff El Camino. Shame on Subaru. So yeah, we're not going to get into trucks beyond that Silverado EV. That's the only thing I want to talk about truck-wise. And I like it. Screw you if you don't. Your opinion doesn't matter. And it's false. I guess my brother's not coming on. I don't know. Let me check the phone here. Nope. No texts. No updates. I don't think. Yeah, he said no. Oh, when was that? That was like 45 minutes ago, you dickhead. Anyway, whatever. It's fine. I'm rambling. Brian's kind of keeping up and helping me out. Brian, if you wanna hop on, I'll send you the join link. I don't care at all. Let me know if you want to come on. We'll shoot the shit for the next hour because that's how much time I have left. Actually, if I'm not time constrained, we can talk for the rest of the night. I don't give a shit. But anyway, what else is going on? I know EVs are going to legitimately like completely take over the market. That's going to be the culture of the automotive industry in less than 3 years starting. I know Cadillac wants to be fully electric by 25. General Motors, I think, wants to be by 35. All right, Brian, hang on a second. Let me share or copy this. All right. I'm going to send it to you in Messenger, my friend. So look for it there. Hang on one second here, guys. All right, B Ryan, sent. I'm awaiting your join. I'm gonna have to call my brother a punk bitch. Just did. Told him to go ahead and join anyway. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Who's gonna join late anyway? So what the fuck is 20 more minutes? I don't give a shit. All right. So while we're waiting on Brian, like I said, EVs are taking over. That is inevitable. The government is offering incentives for these manufacturers to do EVs. So why wouldn't they? I'm honestly shocked that big oils, like fucking big oil companies, aren't like fighting tooth and nail, like seething at the mouth to fucking fight this shit. Now I'm sure they are, but they're fighting a losing battle. Like oil should have been out a long time ago, because EVs have been around a lot longer than most people know about. Electric vehicles were first made and introduced in the early 1900s. Like, they've been around for a long time, over 100 years. Like, the technology existed. Obviously, it was very primitive, and you could only drive about 3 miles on electric. I'm exaggerating, I'm sure. I don't know, but nowadays, I'm seeing a lot of things. The technology is progressing extremely fast. I know, when the early 90s, early 2000s, electrics were a thing. You could only maybe drive 40 miles per charge. And those cars were still very expensive for not a lot of extra technology, materials. Like, the cars were still really, really small. The designs were terrible. But nowadays, like, I'm reading a lot of things. The ranges are getting much higher. The materials, the design, the styling, the cars themselves are just becoming better and better and better. And they are expensive. To go to get those high ranges and the materials and all that. That just comes down to, the technology needs to advance and get more affordable. Materials need to be accessible for battery manufacturers, for the suppliers, the main manufacturers also. Uh, and, with manufacturers still doing both electric and internal combustion, supply isn't as in demand as it will be in 3, 5, 7 years, whatever. Once demand is there and more manufacturers start making batteries, electric motors, once they all start making these things, because there will be competition. There's not going to be a monopoly. There's not going to be one brand or one company that makes these batteries, one company that makes the electric motors. It's not going to do that. There's not going to be that. And once they figure out how to make batteries without all these crazy, minerals and compounds that you have to mine from the earth, which they're getting there. Once that happens, the technology is going to become very, very cheap, very, very affordable, and these electric vehicles are going to be as affordable as the current internal combustion cars. And the ranges are going to be even better, honestly, because I didn't read the article. I did not read the article, but I did see a post that someone put. I can't remember. I think it just might have been a general post that someone I'm friends with posted. I don't think it was in the group. A Tesla, yes, Tesla. Uh, I have my opinions on Tesla. I've stated them before. I'm very lukewarm on Tesla. I like the way I like the Model S. That's the only one I like. All the rest of them are terrible. I don't like any of their SUVs. Check your Facebook Messenger. Hold 1 second, my friend. Text you the link. All right, give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute, guys. Just bear with me. Give me 1 second. I know this is unorthodox, but all right. I have to text Brian the link, and I don't know it. So hang on. Shit. Oh boy, this is gonna take a minute, Brian. Just bear with me, you guys. Get back to our originally scheduled programming in a moment. All right, Brian. I think that's right. Yeah. It went through right correctly. All right, so Brian will be on very shortly. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, okay. So this Tesla Model S, apparently, like I said, I didn't read the article. Apparently, this Tesla Model S drove 1,200 kilometers on a single charge. I know that's not in miles, and I don't even know. Let me do the conversion here. I don't know miles to fucking kilometers. Let's see, kilometers to miles. All right, so no, screw you. All right, let me do this. 1,200 kilometers. All right, that's 745 miles. That's a lot. That's actually really, really, really good. If it's legit, that's like super good. I don't know of any internal combustion engine vehicle that can do that. Not a single one. I don't know one of them at all. I know there are some that can do like 500-600 miles. I don't know a single one that can do over that though. And if any of you do, let me know. Message me in the Facebook group. I don't care if you know something that can get more than 600 miles to the tank. Let me know, because I would be interested in that information. Damn good information to have, honestly. My brother, I need to eat, jerk. No, you don't. Shit, I'm a dick. I know. Anyway, but yeah, like I know the Lucid Air got Motor Trend Car of the Year in its very first year as a thing. They are making deliveries to customers, so they're a thing. Like they're a legit car brand. But you have to pay $120,000 ish to get their longest range electric vehicle. And who can afford that? Honestly, how many of us, raise your hands, not me, not this guy, can afford that? I can't. I can't even afford a very used Tesla. I can't afford it. Like, it's ridiculous. These cars, the technology has got to get more expensive in order for EVs to catch on in the mainstream. Because me included, the vast majority of people can't afford them. I mean, the technology has got to become way, 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 way cheaper. Tesla, build quality, garbage. Tesla, your cars are too expensive for what people get. I don't care how fast they are. That's not why people buy them. Well, it's why some people buy them. I know the Tesla Model S Plaid, that bullshit fucking thing. That thing makes 1,000 horsepower. Okay, great. Is the dash going to fall apart? Probably, because your build quality is shit. I've seen, I don't know how many videos of people literally like sticking their hand inside the dash of their Tesla. My friend, hello, Brian.
Hey, sorry, man. I've been technical difficulties.
No. It's all good. I run into them every week.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Brian, Mr. Brian Calvert, back here again. What's been going on, my friend?
Good, man.
What's going on down in the Florida?
Doing good today. Had some better weather today. It was 78 degrees here.
Yeah, don't rub it in. I saw your post the other, what is it, yesterday, about 39 degrees. I'm like, oh, I don't feel bad for you.
I'm having some audio issues, so just bear with me for 1 minute.
I mean, you're good on my end.
Okay, I'm good on your end, but just 1 second.
Oh, okay. You just disappeared again.
Yeah. Whoops.
All right. Well, anyway, Brian posted.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, Brian posted in his on his personal page yesterday that it was like 39 degrees in Florida, and I
That was low.
I legit did not feel bad for him because it's been in the teens here, so not at all.
I can only count maybe on my hand, probably on my hand, less than 5 times where I've actually seen frost on my windshield, and it was frosty on my windshield the other day. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
When I lived in Orlando for the 3 months that I did, I think the grass frosted maybe, I don't know, like you said, maybe a handful of times. Wasn't much.
Yeah.
But you're a little bit further south, so that's a little unusual.
Yeah.
Anyway, so all right, so like, what do you want to talk about, my friend?
Well, I'd like to talk about the new Sequoia.
Okay, hit me.
Yeah. I think the Sequoia is a pretty good replacement for the Land Cruiser, which we're not getting anymore.
Yeah.
It shares so much architecture with the new Sequoia or with the newer Land Cruiser that it pretty much is a replacement for it. I can see why they did that.
Yeah. I mean, the Land Cruiser back in the day, it did well in this country, but with the introduction of new models, like the Sequoia, it's a big vehicle. It can compete in this country with the likes of Suburban. Dodge doesn't have shit, and the Expedition, size wise, obviously. Well, now Dodge does have the Grand Wagoneer. I guess it could compete with that.
Well,
probably not price wise, but
I think I think one of the most important things. I mean, yeah, like people are upset that we're not getting the Land Cruiser, but you know what? I mean, like we're getting a pretty good replacement. So, yeah. Hey, hold on 1 second. I gotta mute my mic.
You're good. But yeah, Brian's right. The Sequoia is pretty much the American replacement. Oh, you're back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. I was just saying you're pretty much right. The Sequoia is pretty much the American replacement for the Land Cruiser. Yeah. It's not as extreme as the Land Cruiser. It's probably not. Probably not quite.
It shares so much of the chassis that the first gen Sequoia had a solid axle. The gen after that, which is what we had for 13, 14 years, had an independent rear suspension. And when you actually put the two side by side, it was substantially larger than the Land Cruiser, which is already a big vehicle.
Yeah.
and then they went back to solid axles. So I think we got a pretty good replacement for it. I mean, I could see it having the same off-road capability, like for sure. The previous gen wasn't so much, but you know, this new one is pretty good. I mean, I think I'm not big on the interior on it. I think Toyota interiors have a little bit of a toddler toyish look to them, you know.
Well,
Not yeah,
if it's anything like the FJ Cruiser, yes, I could see that.
yeah, they
And I'm actually gonna look for that interior because I have not seen it
I mean, it's
actually.
the same as the Tundra. Yeah, I mean, like they just took the Tundra interior and like stuck it right in there.
Okay, well, I haven't seen that either.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know. I don't really. Okay. I
yeah.
see what you mean. I do. All right, so I'm gonna share this with everyone. If I can find a decent picture of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can. Let me shoot. Let me share this. This isn't the best picture. It's probably not huge, but there you go.
That's a pretty good.
You're right. You're right. It's very like I honestly don't know how to describe it. It's very simple.
Wait a minute. That's not sure what you're looking at over there. There's a
Yeah, this,
scroll up.
oh, scroll up.
Scroll up a little bit. Maybe they have a. Maybe that's a different trim level like that I'm looking at.
Is this not the right one?
Let me look. I have you on my. Oh,
Okay,
I
let
don't know if you can
me.
see this or not, but I got you on my 75-inch TV in the bedroom. Plus, I got an iPad in front
Okay.
of me.
Um, let me see if I can find a
I
little
don't know.
bit.
I'm not sure what picture like you were looking at.
Let's see if I can find a little bit better picture. I got multiple windows pulled up, and I'm floating back and forth.
Yeah, you know what? That could be Sequoia. Let me see here.
Let me see.
They do have a pretty good trim level, different design. So maybe that's the trim level like you're looking at. Nope, that's definitely just maybe they was some more basic interior. That's probably
Maybe.
why I didn't recognize it.
Okay. Let me try to.
Because everyone like that I'm looking at has this gigantic screen that's tacked on the dash, which is, you know, pretty
Right
typical of today's cars. But
here, I got a little bit different one. This one looks like a little bit, maybe a little bit upgraded trim level. I don't know. All right, look at that one. I don't know. I mean, it's just
that's a previous gen,
shit. I'm
interior.
googling
That's a
23.
yeah. You go to like autoblog.com, it's got it right on the front page, and you can click right on it and start scrolling through some of the pictures. Oh, you still there?
Close the wrong tab. My fault.
Are you there?
Yeah. I closed the wrong tab. That's my fault. I'm a dumbass. Hang on. You said auto blog front page. Oh yeah. That's what I looked up
I'm gonna
earlier.
leave and then try to connect.
Oh, well, we lost Brian. I guess something happened when I fucked up. No, I don't. I don't see.
All
All
right,
right,
I'm
you
back.
you got there?
Oh,
You back, sir?
yo.
You are you back? Hello, Brian. Can you hear me?
Let's see here. Yo, how about now?
I've got you. I hear you. Yeah. Can you hear me? I guess he cannot. Um. Anyway, I'm looking for the Sequoia's interior, the 2023. I cannot find a picture of it. Um. I guess I'll click on this and maybe they'll have a picture of it. Here it is. Okay, here it is. Oh, okay. Here it is. All right. Let me share the screen. Let me share the screen. Brian, are you there? No, he is not. Okay. Anyway, this is the interior that Brian is talking about. This is the new Toyota Sequoia 2023. It is not good. Holy crap, is it not good? The steering wheel's terrible. I need to look at the bigger picture. The steering wheel's awful. Holy crap, is that terrible? The seats look very cheap. They look cloth for something that's going to be this expensive. No, not cloth. I think the screen is too big. Um, this center console is just enormous. I don't know. It's just bad. Mm-mm. I don't like this interior. Bad. Brian, Brian, are you there, sir? Yo, Brian. Bri.
Yeah, I don't know if you can. Oh, um, the audio is not very good for me.
you
I
you
get
can't
this
hear me or
voice from you.
no, that's not good.
That's what I hear.
That's definitely not good. No, that's not good. I'm destroying the Toyota Sequoia's interior right now. If you can hear me, I don't think you can because you're not responding. But anyway, um, long story short, it's not good. I don't like it. Um, Back end's kind of basic, bitch. Front end Toyota fucking. It's totally fucking Toyota Tundra, and I don't like the Tundra. Never have. I don't know. I just don't like it. Um, Now, see, this looks a little bit better. Obviously, this is leather. Um, Steering wheel's trimmed in some metal shit. It looks a little better,
Oh, much better.
Brian. You can hear me now.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Before you're like, or that's what I heard for a
I
little
was
while. I
I
kept
was
trying to
slow
connect.
mo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
talking
All
like
right.
the
So this
devil.
is this is the new 2023 interior. This is what I found.
I mean, it's not bad. It's a drastic improvement over
It
the previous
is.
model. You know what I think was the previous model's downfall was that it came out in 2008. We
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
what happened in 2008. We had, gas crisis. The thing was the least fuel efficient in its class.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so no one was buying really gas guzzling vehicles between '08, probably all the way up until 2012. So that's 4 years of a life cycle where we had $4 gallon gas,
Mm-hmm.
and by the time gas started getting cheaper again, after 2012, it started to go down again. Well, the vehicle was already 4 years old, like at that point. It wasn't new anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And, 2015, then the new Chevys, like Tahoe and the Yukon and the Escalade came out. So that thing
Yeah.
it was very, very bad timing when the previous gen Sequoia came out. So I think this one's going to do a lot better, just because it's coming in whenever the market is already hot right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, people want the bigger SUVs.
Yeah,
They want the super like crazy
yeah.
interiors.
But also, like, let's face it too. When a vehicle starts getting, I mean, there's a few vehicles that have kind of bucked the trend, but I think, like, you know in a really competitive segment, like what it's in, once, 6, 7 years go by and sales start to slump, it's not that the customers are going away. I think people are just waiting for the next model to come out. So they're, like they're
That's
kind of holding
absolutely
off
what
their
it is.
purchase for a little while. When Toyota got rid of the Land Cruiser, they're like, well, wait a minute, like, why are they getting rid of the Land Cruiser? I mean, how many people were just waiting for a newer one to come out?
That's exactly what it is. We went to dinner here in Franklin. This has been a little bit, but we parked next to a guy in an older Escalade, and I got out of my car and I told him, I was like, "Hey, when are you going to upgrade?" He's like, "I can't. I can't upgrade because nobody has the new Escalade."
Well,
So
I see a
that's
lot of them
that's
around here.
that's exactly what it is. Late in the run, when they start to redesign, you're right. Customers aren't going anywhere. They're waiting. They're waiting on that redesign. They're waiting on the new what they have coming out. And looking at this interior, looking at the exterior.
I think the exterior looks pretty good. You know what bothers me about Toyota? I mean, you can throw in Lexus too, like, but Lexus has its own little thing going on. Is that,
Oh, Lexus,
you
don't even get me
know,
started. Ugh.
I mean, like, there are a couple Lexus models that I think are good cars. I mean, Lexus makes good cars. Are there something that is it something like that I would buy? Not necessarily, but I will say if you want something that's going to last a very, very long time, Lexus is a pretty good vehicle to buy. You know,
Reliability wise, you can't argue with a lot of what comes from Japan.
yeah.
But design wise, you can
Design
argue
wise,
all
they
day.
do fail on their design.
Yeah. That's my
Especially from
argument.
Lexus.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
argument against Japan. Like their designs are just very
Yeah.
questionable.
I
Their
think
reliability, can't argue.
yeah, I think to me the best Japanese manufacturer as far as design wise has got to be Mazda.
I was gonna say
Uh,
the exact same thing.
yeah,
We
in
are
fact,
on the very same page there.
yeah, Mazda's. I mean, yeah, like you don't look at a Mazda and you think it's beautiful. You think, that is a good looking car. Doesn't break any barriers. Doesn't try to overdo it. It's just a good looking car.
I
You
agree.
know,
I agree.
like,
Especially recently, like their newest
oh yeah,
models.
oh yeah, the last 4 years have been excellent.
Absolutely.
You know, I
The Mazda 6 is really, really nice.
yeah,
I really want them to bring an RX model back and
yeah,
make it bring their current design
yeah,
model to that with a rotary engine, rear drive,
yeah. But
you
those
know.
rotary engines are junk, though.
I
You
don't
just
know.
can't. I mean, they wind up really high and everything like that. But I think the it's not very reliable, and you could make a case for the rotary engine 10 years ago, but if you look how efficient just regular
Now,
inline engines are and
yeah,
V motors are
now,
now, it's just it just blows like a rotary engine out the door. I mean, you can't,
yeah, like
you know,
the argument for a rotary now, yeah, it's not very good.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
When you
you know,
compare it back, probably 15 years ago when they were getting, 200 horsepower out of a 3.5 liter V6, yeah, you can make a case for it. But now they're getting, 300 horsepower out of a 2 liter four cylinder. So,
even more than that with the right tune. But yeah, I mean, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. I love what Mazda does with their designs. I haven't
yes,
seen the newest interiors. I don't know how. I don't know
they've gotten
how.
even better.
Okay.
Uh, I think I mean Mazda. I think the CX-5 is their best vehicle and it's their best selling vehicle. Half of all Mazda sold are CX-5s.
Hmm.
Half of everything that they sell is a Mazda CX-5, and it's a good car for its segment. Uh, but um, but but Mazda makes the best looking cars. But as far as Lexus goes, and Toyota, like in particularly, I don't really understand. They market themselves as an off-road, capable brand with the Forerunner and the new Sequoia, or like even the Land Cruiser. And trucks are different because trucks have to be shaped a certain way. But I don't really get. This is something that Land Rover and Jeep had figured out a long time ago. Is the approach angle in the front
Hmm.
and the departure angle in the back. I don't
Yeah.
quite think that Toyota has figured out that you have to cut that down like a little bit, because
Yeah.
every modified off-road like SUV that Toyota sells, like that someone modifies, they have to cut half the bumper off for it to not scrape on something.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
too. It's
you
just.
always see them, like with a metal steel bumper on there. Like that's because like they had to cut half of it off because half of it scrapes everywhere.
Hmm.
Even like the Lexus like GX, which is starting to become a pretty popular uh, alternative to a Land Cruiser. Um, people have to cut half the bumpers off of them,
Yeah.
and it's just like, why haven't you guys figured that out yet? Like everybody else has figured that out. So that's what really kind of irks me about it. They you know the every off-roader has its kind of like Achilles heel, like which kind of it's like, why did they do that? That's not going to be good. Like with Land Rover, it's the tires,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like they make the best traction stuff, and they're really really good off-road. But then they put street tires on them. And it's like, well, like, why'd you put these street tires on? And like, and that's its biggest downfall. I mean, look, you can take any Land Rover like off the shelf and put better tires on it, and it's way better.
I was gonna say, Land Rovers, they have that low center of gravity, and yeah, they're the off road capability is there, but they put those stupid ass street tires on it because they know that the majority of the people that
Yeah,
buy them are
yeah,
never
yeah.
ever gonna see mud. They're never gonna
Like,
see
but
mud,
yeah,
ever.
but if you buy one though, and then once they hit the secondhand market, the only thing you
Yeah,
got to do to them is change the tires. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Like, and you automatically have a great vehicle.
yeah.
But when you buy a Forerunner or a Lexus GX or something, yeah, you got to change the tires out, but then you got to cut half the bumpers off of.
Right. Yeah, because the ground
So
clearance is shit. Yeah.
yeah, well, I mean, it's not the ground clearance; it's the approach angle, like, and the departure angle is so far. It just blows it out the water. Like the wheels are supposed to be closer to the ends of the vehicle.
Hmm.
This is the way it is. I mean, yeah, like you have the
Yeah, the
brake over angle,
overhangs.
like which is
Yeah,
somewhat comfortable.
the overhang should be minimal, but they're huge on those
Yeah,
things like you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
and even most cars have gone away with, like most cars they move the wheels closer to the ends of the car. Like you never. I was looking at a Lexus LS 400 like the other day, and it was in mint shape. And I was looking at it, it's like, man, you just don't see a wheel and then 3 feet of car afterwards anymore. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
mean, like they stretch wheels out so far. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like the mid '90s, well, like big body like Impalas. You see a wheel, and then there's like another 4 or 5 feet of car after that. You know what I mean? You don't
Yeah,
have that anymore.
yeah. No, no, no.
Um, like that just goes to show you. But of course, I did figure out over time that the longer the wheelbase on a car, the better it's going to handle and everything.
Mhm.
Not necessarily handle, but smoother, like it's going to be too. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, but that's just weird that they Toyota markets these off-road like SUVs, and it really chaps my ass about their bumpers. It's just one thing I'm like, why is the bumper's huge on there? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's like they think it's for safety or aesthetics or what,
I
but
do like the new Sequoia though. I I I do think it's good, and I hope it su succeeds. I mean, like I probably wouldn't buy one brand new, but maybe 10 years down the road when they're still going on the
well,
road, maybe it's like, it might be, we get a cheap,
I
like a
mean
budget Land Cruiser.
the way car prices have gotten, I I wouldn't recommend you buy anything brand new, but I mean, that's just me.
Well, there's still, I think there's still, I mean, if you need a vehicle where you have to have one, you know, and you, I mean, like right now, like if someone has a car like this broke down and they have to go get a new, and they have to go get a vehicle, it's like you either buy the cheapest crapper like that you can get right now, you know what I mean? Just trying to find something like that if you, you know, like that if you buy it, you won't lose like that much money on it. So try to buy an old crapper that's
Yeah.
maybe lasts 1 or 2 years for like $5,000. I mean, I was looking at it was Facebook Marketplace. There was a Land Rover LR3. It's got 120,000 miles on it. They only want 5 grand for it. I'm like, well, that's not bad if you needed a vehicle, you know.
Yeah, there's one here in our apartment complex.
Yeah, and those are actually fairly reliable. Like they're not terrible. Uh, or if you had to buy something brand new, I would buy the basic 4-cylinder Toyota pickup because you can buy it, and you know, even if the car market dips, you can still get rid of the thing for close to what you paid for it. You know, because they just, even when the car market is like when we don't have a shortage, they don't really discount those vehicles that much.
Yeah.
So there's not a huge depreciation on them.
Yeah.
Someone like is always going to buy one. I mean, you know, up 3 years ago, like I was looking at one the other. There was one. It was 2 years old. It had 50,000 miles on it, and this was before the shortage. You know, before
Hmm.
the shortage, it was 2 years old. That had 50,000 miles on it, and it was almost the same as a brand new one.
Yeah.
So if you have to get something right now, and you don't want to lose a lot of money, that's not a bad way to go. But as far as trying to buy, like a Chevy Equinox that's maybe a few years old, you just got to pay 30-40% more on it right now.
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, especially a pickup truck.
It's a real shame, how the used car market is right now.
Yeah,
Like I said earlier, my Cadillac, I had it for 2 years. I sold it for literally what I paid for it. And then CarMax in turn sold it for 6 grand more than what they paid me. So I'm like, Jesus Christ, like what the hell is going on with the market right now? And like I
uh,
said, with the Corvettes, I know that they retain their value well, but I'm sorry, but a 3-year-old Corvette should not sell for more than it sold for brand new. Sorry,
yeah.
it just shouldn't.
There's a Honda dealership down the road from my house, and they had a few of the new Corvettes there sitting on the lot, never titled vehicles, and they had them for $120,000 a piece.
Yeah, yeah, I
I
know,
don't know
I
how they
know.
got them. Like they probably bought them from, I mean, if you have a dealer license, you can get any car that you want to.
I
You
saw
know,
I saw that post that you put, or I saw that comment that you were talking about, and I know a guy that works at a dealership in Michigan, and he commented back actually to you. I don't know if you saw it, but he said that if a dealership owns multiple dealerships and they sell multiple manufacturers,
yeah.
they can transfer vehicles around from dealership to dealership,
Oh yeah,
to try to sell them quicker. Like if a
yeah,
certain area, if a vehicle would sell quicker in a certain area, uh, a Chevy dealership could transfer a Corvette to a Honda dealership in a different area and sell it quicker. So I think that's what's going on in
yeah,
what you're talking about.
yeah.
Um, but I don't know, like a car
Mm.
that is MSRP 55 grand and it's selling for 120. Shame on that dealership.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I understand.
It's,
I understand. I understand what's going on in the market. I completely get it.
yeah. You know what's even
Uh,
worse is we're not going to feel these effects until a few years down the road. It's still going to linger because remember what happened in 2009, 2010, 2011? There wasn't that many car sales. I mean, it was a slow pickup from the recession. And then now, here we are in 2022, when you try to look for cars in that era, there's not that many of them because car sales were crappy,
mhm.
and then car sales that picked back up was 2015, like when they really started to get back to pre-recession levels,
Yeah.
you know, but now we're in this it's almost a 2-year slump now with the chip shortage. Now just think a few years down the road from here, when people are looking for used cars in these model years, 2020, 2021, and going into 22, there's going to be a shortage of those cars for the used car market.
Yeah.
You know,
I
it's
don't
like
know.
with
It's just
yeah, it's I mean, when you get into the availability of what people need, and that I mean, a car is not an asset, but it's one of those things where you feel something down the road from now. It's like with housing. I know this is a car show, but with housing, one of the reasons why we have a housing shortage is that builders did not build enough, inventory over the past 10 years. So now here we are 10 years later, and there's not enough houses.
well, you're right. It is a car show, but we can talk about housing for a moment.
Yeah,
Down there where you're at, there's only so much land you can build on. Yeah, there might be a housing shortage. Up here, it's a completely different story. They're overbuilding up here, and we do have an we do
I'm
have a.
just saying,
Go ahead.
I don't think they're overbuilding, because if they were overbuilding, there would be an oversupply. There's not an oversupply of houses like where
Well,
you guys are at.
well, you're right. There's not an oversupply because so many people are moving here, but literally every piece of real estate that they can build on, they are. That's the
Yeah,
problem. They're
yeah,
eventually it will be overbuilt. That's my
yeah,
point. They're at the rate of building versus the rate of people moving in. The building rate is it's up here.
yeah.
They're going to overbuild
Well,
because the rate of people moving here it's going to stop
yeah.
eventually.
Well, if you look at California, okay, California is, has always been expensive, and this
Yeah.
is nothing new. It was expensive 10 years ago too, as well.
Hmm.
And before that, it was expensive. Well, what happened is in the 90s, people said, "We're full, don't build anymore. We're full, no more growth. Like, we can't handle like any more growth." So they slowed housing down for a long time, and then then they are 20 years later, and it's $1 million for a 2,500 square foot home because
Yeah.
there's not enough houses.
Right. I mean, it's
So
kind of the
the
same
same
thing.
thing's going to
Well,
happen with the car market.
it's kind of the same thing over here. Not to dwell on the housing thing, but it's kind of the same thing over here. Uh, especially in Williamson County, you can't find anything less than 400 grand,
Yeah.
and you're in a townhouse for that.
Oh,
If you want a decent house, you're looking at probably closer to $750,000. It's
yeah,
absolutely ridiculous.
yeah.
But you're right. I mean, the car market is going to level out. The prices are going to come back down, but the question is when.
Yeah, I think it's going to be in. I don't think it's going to be until 2023. The new car prices are certainly going to drop. You're not going to see markups on vehicles anymore, and there's going to so some of the incentives are going to come back, but used car prices are still going to be high for a little while, just because of when a few years down the road, when the people who typically buy used cars a few years old, they're going to be looking for 2021 and 2022 models, and they're just not going to be there because they didn't build enough vehicles.
That's true. Yeah, you do make a good point.
Yeah, and then especially with trucks. People still buy used trucks. I drive straight through the middle of Florida. Every time I drive through Orlando,
Hmm.
it's a rural area. It's mostly farming, and there are dealerships. There's a Ford dealership that I drive by. It's a little bit south of Winter Haven, and it's a Ford dealership with a double wide trailer. That's the office, and it's an official Ford dealer. It's a double
Yeah,
wide trailer
yeah,
and that's the office, and it's a grass field, and it is filled with Ford trucks. That's all they sell out there. Maybe they might have a few crossovers like sitting here and there, but the entire Ford dealership is trucks. I drove past there about 6 months ago and it was an empty field. They
Yeah,
had no inventory to sell. They had no inventory to sell. But like that's what they sold, like was Ford trucks, and they didn't have anything there.
that's crazy. I mean, I guess that's what you get with rural dealerships, but
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's all pickup trucks and no cars there.
yeah. Well, like I said earlier, the only cars they make for this market anymore is the Mustang. They don't make anything
Yeah.
else. It's ridiculous.
I don't think. I mean, it's just that. See, crossovers are they're crossovers are affordable and they're just too practical. I mean, it is the new family sedan.
I understand. I understand. Like I said,
Yeah.
I completely get it.
And and the new performance SUVs are what the BMW M5s and E63s used to be. You know what I mean?
I
I know it
do.
doesn't sound
I
as
do.
great.
I know, but over here, we don't really have the performance SUVs. The
Yeah, we do. We got the like the BMW X
no, I mean like
X3M, you know, we got the X5M.
they're
But the
available here, but I mean American made. General
yeah,
Motors, Ford, Chrysler, they don't do that.
yeah.
Chrysler, they
Well,
do.
they didn't really do the performance sedan thing either
They
until
did. They
yeah,
did.
I mean
They did.
Cadillac
No,
did
no, no,
and
no, no,
Lincoln
no,
did.
no. They did.
Which one?
Cadillac had the CTS-V. They still do. The
Yeah,
CT5V.
yeah.
They still do, but it's expensive. Um,
Oh yeah,
Chevrolet, they had the SS, which they didn't market properly, so they quit making it.
yeah.
Um,
Well, that was well. I mean that SS. It was a Pontiac GT, and it was a V8 for 30,000 bucks. Then they brought it back, and it was 50,000 bucks, and it looked like a rental car.
right, right.
And people said, "I'm not going to buy this thing."
That's exactly what it was. It was a Pontiac G6 modernized, and it was 50 grand. You're 100% right. Um, Ford, they never really had. I mean, they had the Taurus SHO. It was never really a performance. It was never. It could never compete really. Um, and then Chrysler, they had the 300 with the Hemi, the Charger, Hellcat.
Yeah,
They're psychotic. Chrysler is. They're fucking psychotic. They are. They shove that Hellcat engine in anything that it'll fit in. They're psychotic. That's the best way I can describe them.
it's awesome.
And I commend them for that.
Yeah,
I like that they have the balls to do that. So I commend
yeah,
them for doing that. But as far as American made performance SUVs, Chrysler is really the only one that had the balls to do that with
yeah,
the Trackhawk Cherokee and
yeah,
the Hellcat Durango.
yeah,
I know that General Motors is finally coming out with a V Series Escalade. They used the wrong supercharged V8, but they are bringing it out.
yeah.
And Ford has never really gone into that realm.
Well, I think Ford is playing it smart though. I mean, I thought Lincoln was dead in the water about 15 years ago. I thought they were just gonna,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Lincoln
thought
needs
they
to
were gonna
be
kill it off. But
Lincoln needs to just go away. They can't
well,
compete.
uh, if you've sat in some of the like if you've sat in the Lincoln Aviator and the newer Navigator, it's pretty good. I will
I
say that those are pretty good vehicles. There is still a market for those.
I've
They
never I never sat in the later Navigator,
Oh,
but
it's amazing.
I've seen pictures of it, and I don't like the seats at all.
They
I
look
know
weird, but they're very comfy.
that's fine. They they just look fucking weird. I know they adjust every single way. I know they massage, they heat, they cool.
Yeah.
I know they do all the things, but the seats just look weird. Um, and just overall, I've never really been a fan of the Navigator. I I, I I don't hate.
Well, I will
I
say when
don't.
that Navigator came out, and I thought they were going to quit making the Navigator because it just wasn't selling as well. But when they came out with the latest gen that is out right now, it really did kind of set a new standard for that class. With the quality of the interior, with the design of the interior, it was pretty good. And I
I
was just
agree.
like, I was like,
I
like
do.
as
I
of right
do.
now, I would take this over an Escalade. But then now the
Mhm.
new Escalade is out. Now it just blows the
Okay.
Navigator out of the water.
Okay. I'm glad you just said that because I was about to disagree with you. Um, the latest Navigator is definitely the best Navigator they have ever made. I do agree with that. The styling is the best. The interior, obviously, for what it is the best. But when it comes to Escalade versus Navigator current, the Escalade blows it out of the water.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know,
But the
styling
previous
inside
gens
and
were,
out, styling inside and out. Uh, just the Escalade is just head and shoulders above. You know, especially with the Ultra Cruise coming out. Um, you know that gigantic digital screen across the dash. Just the Escalade is night and day better than what it was. I mean, it's.
yeah.
I
You
mean,
know, let's talk about some autonomous driving, um, or even just kind of hands-free driving.
hmm
I will say that the if I had to buy another brand new family vehicle that we would use for road trips, I would not get another vehicle that didn't have some type of highway address, highway assist driving on it. I
um,
mean, once you use it one time, you're like, man, I can't go back to
if
this.
if
This is
I'm
too
if I'm
good.
in if I'm in that market, if I'm in that market, I have a wife, at least two kids. Yeah, I would be the same way because there would be road trips and I would get distracted and yeah, I would probably make a strong case for having to need that technology.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And if I'm going to trust my wife and at least two children to any said technology, of everything that I've seen, everything that I've read, all of the information that's out there, I would have to go with GM's Ultra Cruise.
Oh yeah. That cruise is definitely the best system out right now.
Yeah.
Uh, my wife, she drives a Hyundai Santa Fe, and it
hmm
has highway drive assist on it. It's not full like autonomous driving,
Yeah.
but when you're going on the highway, it will steer for you, and it will keep the lane for you. I mean, and it does like remind you, hey, keep your hand on the wheel,
Yeah.
but you can take your hand off the wheel, like, and it just drives itself anyway. And I mean, it's not it's not they say it doesn't take the place of drivers or whatever, but I mean, you could take your hand off the wheel, like, and it just pretty much drives itself.
Right. Right.
And I will not buy another road trip vehicle without it. Because I mean, I do keep my hand on the wheel, like I take it on and off, but it is so nice, and I will never get another vehicle for a family vehicle that does not have that anymore.
My Cadillac had the lane departure assist, whatever nonsense. It's not that was not an autonomous
Yes,
driving technology. It would not drive the car for you, but
yeah.
like
Our
you said,
previous,
it would keep
yeah,
the lane. You know, if you drifted, toward another lane, it would pull you back in.
yeah,
If you tried to make a lane change without signaling, it would fight you. Um,
yeah. Well,
so
this
yeah,
one, yeah. Her previous gen only had that on it. Um, that is, that system allows you to drift into the lane and then it jerks you back. This one turns the steering wheel itself.
yeah,
It
yeah, yeah,
just yeah, it goes.
yeah. It was
Like
just
much like the
my
Super Cruise, except not quite as advanced as it.
yeah, yeah. I know. Now the Super Cruise was a little bit different. Um, it would drive for you on highways, slow you down, speed you up to whatever highway speed was. It would keep you a certain distance from the car in front of you, emergency braking, all that shit. But the Ultra Cruise, It is an updated system. This will literally drive the vehicle for you. It can make lane changes. It will literally drive the car for you. As long as conditions are ideal. That's what they say. So this like I said, it's from everything that I've read and seen, it is the most advanced, mostly autonomous system out there. The Tesla autopilot is a fucking joke. Don't get me started. Absolute joke. And I'm not saying every person that drives a Tesla that uses the autopilot system is a total jackass, but I've seen a lot of people that are like trying to let the car drive and they get in the back seat and take a nap. I'm
Oh
sorry,
yeah,
you're a dumbass.
I did see that about 4 or 5 years ago. Whenever Infinity came out with their cruise system, somebody on an autobahn set the cruise control and got in the back seat.
Yeah, yeah, it's totally stupid. I think I saw that video. I think I know exactly what you're talking about. But yeah, the autonomous driving, I think it still has a decently long way to go, especially like definitely further than the EVs have to go to take over. I don't think that we will see autonomous driving in the way that we see them in movies for a long time.
uh, I think we'll see it in 5 years.
I don't,
I, I'm
I don't agree with that.
I think every car will have some type of like autonomous driving on it.
Some type,
Like
yes.
with the, yeah,
Some type, I
yeah.
agree. But like
I think in 20
steering,
years, our kids are going to look at us like they used to let you drive.
like, well, I agree with some type of autonomous driving. I do agree in 5 years, but steering, like cars without steering wheels, period, without pedals, period. I think we still have a long way to go for that.
Oh yeah,
For
for
that,
sure.
I'm talking about 100% autonomy. I think we have a long way to go for that.
Yeah.
But
Which then if you have an older car, I think it might be worth some money then because it's like, oh, this would be fun.
well, that's
I mean,
another.
I'm not totally, you know, I'm for autonomous driving. I don't want the government to regulate it to where we can't drive at all.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the government's always going to be involved, and the government's always going to
Yeah.
overdo it, and the government's always going to not do what we want them to do. So
Oh yeah.
we'll just have to see, what it becomes. But I think we're running a little low on time, so I think I don't know. I mean, I did not, like I said before, I didn't prepare for this episode. I was actually gonna just kind of skip wheel talk if you're okay with that. Mm.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah,
Wasn't planning on hopping
I
on,
was just
but
gonna I was really not gonna get into it this episode. I
yeah.
was gonna skip it, but I, I'm gonna call it, bro.
Hey, sounds good to me, man.
I
Good night.
appreciate you coming on for the short time you did. It helped a
That's all right.
lot. But Brian, appreciate it, man.
Later.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. Bye.
Oh my god, I have to pee.